Mother of all Dragon Slayers. Mother of all fucking Dragon Slayers. Oh my god. I called it. I called it last week. I said that Eileen had to be a Dragon Slayer from back in the day, back before Natsu and them became like Dragon Slayers and got sent to the future. I called it that she had to be that old and that she had to be a Dragon Slayer, but I did not expect her to be the original Dragon Slayer. To be the one that came up with Dragon Slayer magic. She's just even more OP now. Oh my god. But yeah, I did not expect that to happen. And I also actually got surprised by this chapter. I did not expect Machima to actually be revealing all this early. Now I know in the last chapter he basically said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go over Eileen's backstory," but I expected him to do what he always does, and that is start up a plot line that everyone's hyped for, and then move over to a different one, like to a different fight, in order to draw it out and get people's attention more. Like what he did with Natsu versus Gray. We barely saw that fight. We saw bits and pieces of it here and there, and then we were focused on everyone else's fights for the longest time. I figured he was going to go like, "Oh, you're going to get Island's backstory." 6 chapters from now, but for the next 6 chapters, let's focus on August versus Jalal on his team. Let's focus on that real quick, see how they beat him. And that's why I figured that's what we're going to do. Like what's going on with Natsu and his old dream thing. We're getting that bits and pieces here and there, but we're not really focusing on that, and that's something that people want to see more of. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad we actually did get this chapter because we got the backstory, we got most of it, we got a good chunk of it. All right, so we go back in the day and we see that Eileen was not only the queen of dragons, she was the queen of Ishgard. That's right, she was the queen of Ishgard, and we see that she actually has dragons working with her. Like the dragons live in peace with the people of her country. And we see this one dragon, I forget what his name was, but he comes back from a scouting mission and he goes up to the queen and he's like, "We're fucked. The dragons from the west are going around eating people, and eventually they're going to get here." So the two of them come with a plan like, "All right, well, we're going to have to go to war then. It's unavoidable. We're going to have to fight them." And it basically becomes the dragons fighting the war for the humans. Now, not all dragons. They mentioned in this chapter that not all dragons in Ishgard were on the side of protecting humans. Some of them still did not like the idea of living in peace with humans, so they didn't get involved in the war. They stayed neutral, from what I can understand from this chapter. They stayed neutral, which meant that the dragons who were protecting humans were completely outnumbered, and they were losing the fight. They basically say in this chapter that, yeah, we're losing the fight. We're not going to win this. And Eileen's like, "All right, well, teach me Dragon Slayer magic." She goes to her dragon friend. He basically tells her that unless he can keep her alive, he can't repay the debt that he owes to her ancestors or whatever, who saved his life apparently. And she's like, "All right, well, if you want to save my life, the only way to do it is to teach me Dragon Slayer magic. Teach me and my people the magic so we can help you guys fight. Because otherwise, we're going to lose this war." And this is just a prime example of Eileen actually caring about her people. In fact, we see in this chapter that she's actually a lot like Urza back in the day. Which begs the question, how the fuck did she turn into this sadistic, basically bitch that she turned into in the future? But I guess that has something to do with the fact what happened at the end of the chapter. Alright, so yeah, she gets taught Dragon Slayer magic, they end up winning the war, and then we see the effects of what happens to people who, get the Dragon Slayer magic. Some of them went mad, some of them started to like get uncontrollable rage and had to attack people. And we see with Eileen's case, she started turning into a dragon herself. Now we know that Natsu and them had to get their dragons who taught them, like their parent dragons, inside their bodies to create antibodies to keep them from turning into dragons. I guess Eileen didn't get that. So yeah, she ends up turning into a dragon. And we find out that when she's actually turning into a dragon, she's already pregnant with Urza. No revelation on who the dad is, but yeah, she's already pregnant with Urza. So there's that, which will probably explain why she thought Urza was dead all this time, because Urza she probably thought since she was turned into a dragon to change her body or something that she lost a baby in the transformation. I don't know. It doesn't explain how nothing in this chapter explains how Urza could possibly be alive in the future unless Eileen really did go through the time gate with Natsu and them. It has to be because there's no indication of Urza being a dragon slayer. And in order for her to live all those years, of 400 years, she would have to be a dragon slayer who turned into a dragon like Eileen and Acnologia. So there's no indication of that. So she would have to have gone through the portal with them, which means I think Eileen didn't survive 400 years as a dragon slayer. I think she actually turned into a dragon slayer or turned into a dragon. And then after she learned how to turn back, went through the portal with Natsu and Gajeel and Wendy and all of them into the future, and then gave birth to Urza, but she thought she died, and then everything that happened after that with Urza in her life. Now, that's my prediction. That is my theory for what happened. Just based on the information we have so far. Who knows? Next chapter could completely debunk it. For next chapter, we could know. Fucking Urza really is a dragon slayer. She turns into a dragon or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's pretty much it that happened with Eileen's chapter, or Eileen's part of the chapter. We did get to see Natsu though. We did get to see Natsu. Oh man, Natsu was in heaven. Yeah, physically and mentally, he was in heaven. He had Happy and Lucy naked bodies hugged up all up on him, and then you see him just like in his dreamscape, and he's getting led by Wendy and Gajeel, and he basically like, dude, we don't actually know what's going on. We're basically just figments of your imagination in order to lead you to remember the truth. Because apparently Natsu remembers everything from when the time he was created or brought back to life to being sent to the future and to the present day. He just blocked off all those old memories from the past. Because he also reminds himself through the Gajeel memory that Eileen was the original Dragon Slayer. He remembers that somehow, and they basically say, "Oh, we're gonna reveal to you basically the past for you to remember." So I guess in the next few chapters, we're gonna see Natsu remembering everything, and that's somehow gonna give him the edge to beat Zeref in the later future. I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens though. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the chapter. It was a great chapter, big info dump when it came to Eileen's backstory, and a little bit of hints of what's going on with Natsu. Not much, but a little bit, and always good to see that Lucy fan service. But yeah, that's it for the chapter. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Comment down below what your thoughts on the review were, or the chapter for that matter. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.